My name is Richard Locke. I'm a professor at MIT in the Department of Political Science and the Sloan School of Management, and I do work on labor standards and global supply chains. And I think CREATE is a terrific initiative because it does a variety of things. One is it brings together practitioners and scholars who are working on the related issues of anti-corruption, IP protection, labor and environmental standards, all trying to learn from one another. What are the best practices, and what's the research out there, and how can we collectively learn from one another.
My name is Maskus. I'm a professor of economics at the University of Colorado in Boulder and the Associate Dean for Social Sciences at that university. I've been working in the area of international economics and intellectual property protection for a long time now, trying to understand the best I can how it is that reforms in intellectual property rights and enforcement of those rights actually affect international economic activity, such as trade, investment, and so on, and also how it affects prospects for innovation in the developing world. We found quite a bit. It works in many different directions, but I think we can make a strong argument that the pace of intellectual property reforms is actually having a substantially positive effect on growth in much of the world. I think CREATE will be a valuable organization because it will shift the responsibility and the emphasis for changing the culture of compliance from intergovernmental conflict, really, to corporations representing their own interests, and also because collective action will be much more effective than just any one company working on its own.
My name is Jane Nelson, and I direct the Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative at Harvard Kennedy School. And for the last 20 years, I've been working with multinational companies from around the world, first of all, trying to study and make the business case for the very positive role that large companies play in society through their core business operations, their social, their environmental activities, through spreading good standards along global supply chains. And then secondly, in addition to making the case for the role of business, working with groups of companies and sometimes with governments and NGOs to promote collective action around specific social, environmental and development challenges and within particular countries. I think the creation of create.org is a very exciting new development in the whole field of mobilizing private sector leadership around complex and yet incredibly important global challenges. The fact that create.org is going to focus on both intellectual property rights and anti-corruption efforts and work with companies both individually and collectively to share good practices, to make the case why the protection of intellectual property rights and anti-corruption measures are good not only for economic development and national competitiveness, but also for industry and individual company competitiveness, I think is going to make an important contribution to the debate on the role of business in society and also how business can promote economic and social good.